The NDSU men's basketball team honors Landon Solberg. The seasonal parking restrictions begins tomorrow.
And ESPN's College Game Day made its way to Brookings to cover the Dakota Marker game. You're watching Bison Information Network News. For our Halloween special, last night's exhibition basketball game had something extra for one of its beloved fans.
Players, fans, and even the marching band showed up in Landon's light gear to honor Landon Solberg and his family. Landon battled a rare form of cancer before passing away this September. $1 from every ticket sold at last night's game is going to Landon Lights Foundation.
It's official. NDSU will no longer charge an application fee for prospective students. The previous cost to apply was $35. According to student body president Mason Rademacher, the university dropped the fee in order to lessen barriers for students interested in applying. NDSU Admissions recommends all students interested in applying to do so before December. The spring semester deadline for incoming freshmen is December 1st. The cutoff date for next fall is August 1st.
Seasonal parking restrictions for Fargo will be active starting tomorrow, November 1st. Fargo streets running east and west will not allow parking from 1 a.m. to 7 a.m. on Mondays, Wednesdays, Fridays, and Sundays. Streets running north and south are restricted at the same time on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays. City officials say the parking policies will be actively enforced, especially once snow starts to fall. Vehicles that violate the policies may be ticketed or impounded by Fargo Police or the Street Department. For more information on these and other parking restrictions, visit fargoparking.com.
NDSU and the University of North Dakota have received a patent for the technology that integrates energy-storing capacitors into the body or other large components of manned and unmanned aircraft systems, known as UAS. NDSU researcher Raj Bridgelal says this capacitor technology, which will supplement batteries, will allow for greater range, longer endurance, and enhanced reliability of UAS. Batteries are often one of the heaviest components of UAS. Providing an alternative source of power will cut weight and provide a redundant power source for onboard avionics that provide precision navigation and flight control. Along with this news, it gives hope that this technology will boost the operation of UAS autonomous flights, which is typically prohibited by the Federal Aviation Administration, also known as the FAA. But an exemption has been granted in North Dakota to test them.
For the first time since 2014, NDSU was featured on College Game Day last Saturday.
Bison Information Network News Sports Director Isaac Dienison made the trip down to South Dakota to capture the experience.
I'm here at College Green at South Dakota State University, where for just a few hours, Brookings, South Dakota was the center of the sports world. ESPN's College Game Day just finished up their live show just behind where I'm standing right now. For those that may not be familiar, this event had it all. Lots and lots and lots of signs. Flags from universities all across the United States. Even Minot State got some airtime. Former NFL punter Pat McAfee was the celebrity guest picker. It was one of those events you just had to be there to understand the hype. I had a chance to talk with a couple NDSU fans on why they decided to come down I-29.
I had to come visit my good friend Taylor and show him some good football.
Well, we bought tickets to this game back in August, and College Game Day just happened to come, so got here in line like 4 in the morning. It was fun.
I'm saying it's a close game, I really do, but I think Trey's gonna pull out and the defense is gonna shut him down. I'm going with the Bison, 28-14.
Those two fans I did speak with both expected NDSU to win, and coming up in sports, I'll have highlights and post-game reaction from this big matchup in the FCS. Reporting from Brookings, Isaac Dienison, Bison Information Network News.
South Dakota State was the 73rd school to host College Game Day. Number 74 will be Memphis this weekend.
It's a historic move. The House of Representatives formalized the impeachment inquiry into President Trump. The vote, split almost entirely along party lines, set the stage for the next, more public phase in the investigation. Mary Maloney is in Washington to explain.
The resolution is adopted without objection. The motion to reconsider is laid upon the table.
A divided House sent a message. The impeachment inquiry into President Trump is moving forward.
It's a sad day because nobody comes to Congress to impeach a president of the United States. No one.
This step is significant. For the first time in the Trump presidency, representatives voted on the record and set rules to make the impeachment process more public.
as the inquiry proceeds, we'll decide whether we'll go forward with impeachment. That decision has not been made.
At issue, a whistleblower complaint alleging the president pressured Ukraine to investigate a Democratic rival. The political polarization into the Democratic-led investigation on full display. No Republican voted for the measure. 2 Democrats voted no on the resolution.
Not only did every single Republican reject the Soviet-style impeachment process, but we were even joined by Democrats who couldn't stand it anymore.
Almost immediately, President Trump reacted to the decision, tweeting, "The greatest witch hunt in American history."
In the sham that has been putting this country through this nightmare.
This is the 3rd time the House of Representatives voted on an impeachment inquiry into a sitting president. While it's unclear how quick the investigation will be, what is clear, the process will consume the country's attention before the 2020 elections. In Washington, I'm Mary Maloney.
Now let's take a look at the weather in the Fargo-Moorhead area.
Today we saw high temperatures up in the low 40s with plenty of sunshine, a slight change from our recent below freezing days. Into the rest of the evening tonight, expect temperatures to drop considerably. Those out on the town this Halloween night may want to add an extra layer to their costume. Looking ahead to our 7-day forecast, expect highs to stay consistent through the next few days. Tomorrow sees a potential return of snowfall, though likely nothing major. Relatively cloudy skies are expected Saturday and Sunday as we turn back the clock this weekend, before we potentially see snow again Monday morning. Starting Tuesday, sunshine should return to the forecast with a few clouds, but with that sunshine, cooler temperatures also return. We should expect lows to dip into the low teens by the end of next week. In short, winter is coming, everyone.
Up next on Bison Information Network News, a huge sale at the bookstore. What items you could snag for a low price.
Plus, items you could bid on at the United Way silent auction. Stick around. Boo at NDSU is back, and kids from all over the Fargo-Moorhead area came to campus to participate in the festivities.
NDSU is a family-friendly carnival and trick-or-treating for people to come in and experience some Halloween fun. We have groups that are making slime. We have a costume contest. We have lots of different activities for children to do, and then they can, of course, go trick-or-treating door to door at the residence halls rooms. I would give them the advice of having a lot of fun, making sure that you get in costume because that's what Halloween fun is about, and being respectful and kind to those that you're trick-or-treating with, and of course to say thank you. We're excited that we have so many student organizations out with us today and hall governments helping us make this event be possible, and we're really excited that we have so many community members here as well.
Trick-or-treated in Seams, Severn, Thompson, and Pavic halls and enjoy games in Cater Hall.
The NDSU Bookstore held its first sidewalk sale of the 2019 fall semester earlier this week. Many options that were included within the sale were NDSU apparel, headphones, books, and non-NDSU related clothing. Other options included school-related items such as markers, pencils, pens, and notebooks. The bookstore holds these events at least once every semester, and it is one of the more popular events that the store puts on. For more information on when the next sidewalk sale is, head to the NDSU Bookstore website or check the NDSU events calendar.
This Halloween, Americans are expected to spend $2.6 billion on candy. That's according to the National Retail Federation, and not surprisingly, that generates a whole lot of plastic waste. In today's Consumer Watch, CNN's Mary Maloney has some tips to make your Halloween more eco-friendly.
The scale of waste this Halloween is scary, and plastic is the biggest villain. Most of it comes from candy, costumes, and decorations. And while you may throw away those items after Halloween, the plastic can take centuries to break down and has a way of coming back to haunt us, with millions of pounds of plastic entering the oceans every year, littering our beaches, polluting our oceans, and endangering wildlife. With that in mind, here's how you can decrease your carbon footprint and be kinder to the planet. Number 1, when it comes to candy, consider buying items wrapped and packed in recyclable materials like paper or foil, which is recyclable in some areas. Another option, make your own treats or hand out cash instead. Get creative with costumes. Ditch the poor quality and cheaply made ones that you'll likely only use once. Instead, look at your wardrobe and see what you can create with what you already have. Then visit a thrift store for any extra items, or look into renting a costume costume. And get crafty with decorations. Invest in decor that you can use for several years to come, or make your own out of recyclable materials. There's lots of inspiration on social media sites. With a little effort, you could have a spooky but sustainable Halloween. For Consumer Watch, I'm Mary Maloney.
Another eco-friendly tip: instead of giving plastic bags, buckets, or bags to your trick-or-treaters, give them pillowcases to lick candy. They're washable, and king-size one can hold a lot of candy.
Still to come on Bison Information Network News, a new minor program is in the works at NDSU, what it is, and when it could launch.
Plus, the scientific journal that featured an NDSU academic program. We'll be right back.
Major news out of the NCAA Tuesday. Student athletes are closer than ever before to make money off their name, image, and likeness. With the unanimous vote, this marks a shift in stance for the NCAA, as it had previously fought hard to keep itself fully amateur. The decision does not mean change will happen right away, as all three divisions still need to make their own rules by 2021. Last month, California became the first state to pass legislation allowing student athletes to hire sports agents and sign endorsement deals. The NCAA asserts athletes must still be recognized primarily as students and not university employees.
NDSU will be stepping out into the 21st century with a new minor coming in the fall of 2020. The newest program being offered is Robotics. The minor will be available to both engineering and computer science students. The Robotics minor comes with an additional 18 credit opportunity for students to take like microprocessor programming and robot manipulation. With the rise of dependence on drones and technology, NDSU will hope to offer students a leg up when trying to find employment.
NDSU's United Way auction and book, bake sale was available today from 9 a.m. until 2 p.m. at the Quinton Burdick Building, offering a wide range of items and services to bid on, with all the proceeds going to the United Way of Cache Clay County. Coordinated by the NDSU IT division, along with items to bid on at the auction, organizers have planned a book sale, bake sale, a mug shop, rediscovered treasures boutique, and other shopping opportunities. United Way improves the lives by mobilizing the caring power of communities around the world to advance the health, education, and financial stability of every person in every community.
The university's been, had a larger United Way partnership, and this is kind of the annual time when they're doing the United Way drive to get people to sign up for annual giving. The United Way benefits a lot of different programs throughout our community. And so it's kind of piggybacking off that larger relationship that the United Way has with the university.
For more information and to keep up with events like sales, auctions, and other campus activities, visit www.ndsu.edu/news.
The NDSU Cereal Science program has been featured in a spotlight article for Cereal Foods World. The journal focused on many different aspects of the program, including the different types of scientists and how the program addresses food safety challenges. The program also benefits from the government, industry, and academic partnerships. In addition to the different study areas that are a benefit to society, the program allows students to pursue a cereal science master's degree while they complete bachelor requirements. For more information about the Cereal Science program, contact Dr. Frank Matthey via his email.
Ghosts and goblins, witches and werewolves, candy and costumes. All the ingredients needed to brew up a spooktacular Halloween. But for some kids, especially those on the autism spectrum or with a sensory processing disorder, the sights, sounds, and social interaction can be too much. Steve Nannies has more in today's Health Minute.
Itchy costumes, flashing lights, loud noises. For some people, it's not the ghosts and ghouls that make Halloween scary.
And it just can be really overwhelming for a lot of kids and adults who struggle with their sensory processing.
Kayleen George of AutisticMama.com offers some simple things parents can do to make sure their child doesn't miss out, starting with a comfortable costume.
Look for out-of-the-box costumes like pajamas, taking into consideration what your child finds is comfortable.
Another key trick to help your child get those treats: practice.
We practice trick-or-treating. That way it's not shocking.
Use signs or note cards to aid in communication if your child is nonverbal. And seek out sensory-friendly events like this trunk or treat held by Rise for Autism in Glen Burnie, Maryland.
We have reduced sounds, reduced lighting, accommodations for all kids. We have a sensory room, and it gives them an opportunity to come out, have a good time.
Most importantly, don't be afraid to face your fears.
don't think that'll be too overwhelming, so I should just stay home. But don't let sensory struggles stop you from going out and enjoying the holiday.
For today's Health Minute, I'm Steve Nannis.
If you're hosting an event this Halloween, the biggest thing you can do is simply be accepting. Up next, Isaac Dienison will have sports.
What do you have for us this week, Isaac?
Well, I have full coverage from the football team's big clash against South Dakota State, as I mentioned earlier, plus the start of a new season. Stick around, that's coming up. All the hype generated for NDSU's matchup with South Dakota State, it would have been a major disappointment if the game couldn't live up to it. Luckily, the hype was realized, just had to wait for it. Dana J. Dykehouse Stadium, the Dakota marker's on the line. But this one started out a little slowly. Just 6-3 SDSU at the half when Ty Brooks finds an opening and he's off to the races, 59 yards. Shout out to KVR Sports' Nick Cousin on the clip. NDSU leads 10-6. Next play from scrimmage, Cannon Nelson is sacked by Spencer Wagee, and Matt Beegler is going to fall on this football. The Bison take over in the red zone. Just a few plays later, Trey Lance off play action will hit Ben Ellefson in the back corner of the end zone. It's 16-6 NDSU after a failed two-point try. It's 16-9 at the start of the fourth quarter. But SDSU third-string quarterback, true freshman Keaton Heide will take the zone read keeper to the left side, the left corner of the end zone from 3 yards out. This game is tied at 16. On the ensuing drive, however, NDSU wants to get tricky with Dimitri Williams on a halfback pass. But he's going to lob this into the air, and it floats into the arms of Levi Brown, and the Jacks have it near field goal range. Next, 3rd down and 9. Heidi's pass to the left side of the field is going to be picked off by Josh Hayes. That's the first pick of the season for Hayes, and he picked a really good time for it. Now it's 4th and 1 at NDSU's own 29-yard line. What do you do in this spot? Well, you take it to the outside, of course. Adam Cofield busts it loose. A 71-yard sprint to the house. 23-16 North Dakota State. One last gas coming from the Jackrabbits offense, but Derek Tuska, the Warner, South Dakota native, takes over on that last drive with 2 sacks on Heide. NDSU survives in an instant classic. They're keeping the marker in Fargo for one more year.
Walked out to the offensive line, the Rams, and said, "What do you think?" And all 5 of them looked at me and said, "Let's do it." So when you know your kids are locked in like that, I felt good about it. They were going to decide the fate of the game, not the head coach.
Since they did it 6 straight years from 2010 to 2015. The team is now up to 29 consecutive wins since 2017. They go for the big 3-0 this Saturday at Youngstown State. It's officially a new season for the NDSU men's basketball program with its exhibition win last night against Dickinson State. With the night beginning with a tribute to Landon Solberg, it ended with the Bison putting up over 100 points. All 5 starters scored in double figures, led by Vinny Shahid's 20 points. True freshman Malik Harton-Hayes put up 8 points and 6 rebounds in his first official action as a Bison. The defending Summit League tournament champions open their regular season 7 p.m. Tuesday at Kansas State. Last Friday night, the NDSU volleyball team took on South Dakota State at home with hunting as the theme for this particular game. Maybe the team should hold more similar promotions. NDSU started the match strong but narrowly held on to win the first set 25-23. Syra Tanshin racked up 5 of her 9 kills in that first set alone. The second set saw the Bison go on a 12-3 run to take a commanding lead, highlighted by this putback coming onto your screen a little bit from Alexis Bachmeyer right there, the tip. NDSU takes that set 25-14. The Jackrabbits would win the third set, but the Bison would take the match in 4. NDSU lost to Omaha on Sunday. They start a 4-game road trip tomorrow at Purdue-Fort Wayne. And finally, congratulations to the Washington Nationals for winning the World Series last night. The series went to 7 games, and for the first time in history, the road team won every single game. The Nationals won Game 7 6-2, with pitcher Steven Strasburg named World Series MVP. This is the first championship in franchise history, dating all the way back to 1969. And that's This Week in Sports. Up next is the last check of the weather, and Bison on the Street. We'll be right back.
With today being Halloween, plenty of students and staff are dressing up for the holiday.
Biden reporter Noah Zimmer asks students about their Halloween costumes on this week's Bison on the Street.
Yes, I'll be participating in Halloween, and I'll be dressing up as Elton John.
My friends and I were tequila and lime.
I am Velma Dinkley from Scooby-Doo.
What's up, man? I'm a hippie.
I'm Humpty Dumpty.
I'm Thing 1. And I'm Thing 2 from Cat in the Hat.
I'm Ashley. I'm Riley. And we decided to dress as the 3 blind mice this year, even though our 3rd mouse is gone. We just really wanted to do something fun and cute and just have fun on Halloween, since not a lot of people do things around campus.
My favorite costume I've seen this year is the Humpty Dumpty one.
That Humpty Dumpty one was pretty impressive. I'm Rick Sanchez from the cartoon Rick and Morty. Joe had this outfit for our April Fool's newscast back in April. Feel free to check that out.
And I'm also debuting Chris P. Bacon as well from our last April Fool's newscast. Originally thought I was going to be a baker, but I'm bacon.
And I'm a big fan of Gordon Ramsay, so I decided to be Gordon Ramsay this year. It took me 2.5 hours to find this chef coat today.
Well done.
Well, let's have one final look at the weather for the week ahead. Tonight looks to be pretty chilly for any Halloween activities, but the next few days shouldn't be too cold. We should expect some snow in the area tomorrow, but that's looking to be a rain and snow mix. Snow is more possible on Monday, especially in the morning. Next week looks to be more chilly than it was most of this week, with highs topping out in the upper 20s and lows dipping into the low teens by the end of next week. I'm telling you, it's just getting colder and colder, and I'm not looking forward to it at all.
Not here for it either. Don't like that.
Well, that does it for this week's show. From all of us at Bison Information Network News, happy Halloween and have a great night.